Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Ikko Ikki Very Hard campaign for Shogun 2. What we're going to do to start off is kind of do a quick recap, as I usually do. In the last episode, we were able to subjugate Wakasa as a vassal. Unfortunately, we only have 3 provinces, and we're pinned between 3 relatively large powers, 4 if you count Takeda to the south, and that's a problem because we are at war with Satomi over here in the east. We're at war with the Sai over here in the south, and we're also at war with Yamana to the west. So, originally we were just at war with Yamana, but we were declared upon by 2 other clans, and we're really in the need of allies at this moment. I think a wise choice would be to trade with the Takeda and perhaps get a alliance out of that. Let's see, I'll give you 10 turns. No? Alright, let's see if we give you... I really just want to get our relations up so that I can ally them later on. So let's go with... Okay, yeah, you're not going to accept an alliance. I'll give you indefinite... No? Okay. Wow. What if we give you some... some petty currency here? No, nothing. Alright, so Takeda's out of that plan. Let's hope they remain neutral. They're pretty big, and thus pretty scary. But by maintaining 2 choke points, a choke point at Etchu and a choke point at Echizen, we should be able to kind of hold back the invasion force before it gets here. So to that end, we are going to be getting rid of these. Baronin, they take up way too much maintenance, and we don't have the economy to sustain them. And instead, we are going to move our army back over here in preparation of reinforcing Echizen, which is our capital. Basically, I'm going to be using our monk to incite unrest on Omi as soon as they, and by they I mean these armies, move out of the way. That way we can effectively handicap them and kind of take their province out from underneath them. Maybe if I take this, I'll opt to make it a vassal, just like Wakasa. Because honestly, this is just so vulnerable, the city of Omi. But we'll see, we'll play it by ear. Right, so, that being said, we have 2 Lone Sword Ashigaru coming from there, that's good. And we got a Bow Ronin heading over here towards the east, which is also really good, considering that Satomi is at war with us. So, we're 2 turns away from the next temple upgrade. Super, super good news. Right, so we're gonna need 1500 by the time that researches, and we'll have enough saved up. What I'm really just worried about right now is the fact that we only have 3 provinces. 2 of them are pretty good, 1 of them is utter shite, and we are going to need a larger economy to sustain our army in the future. Of course, with this strategy of turtling, I'm effectively abandoning Wakasa, but what can you do? I mean, you see the army that Akai has, or Asai has levered on me. It's a stack and a half. But luckily, I only see a few samurai units, so that's good. But I don't want to take any chances, so what we're going to do is, I'm sorry, Wakasa, but you're going to be conquered. Pretty much guaranteed. We're going to be moving our units back. And that's a pretty fair amount of force for defending a castle. Of course, because we are defending a castle, we won't need any spear units, considering these will be behind walls. I really want to... I could take back that samurai bow unit. Honestly, at this point, it's probably just better to reinforce Etchu. In the spare time, we will be sending out our monks to investigate our army to the east, or the enemy army to the east, I should say, while also simultaneously trying to get over to Omi. But the army blocks the way, so what we're going to do is we're going to demoralize the army, why not? We'll still get some experience if we fail, and it's free, so not really missing out on anything. If I was feeling safe, I would recruit some more Sword Ashigaru, but I think I'll be okay. But I guess it doesn't really ever hurt. The only problem is that our economy is starting to strain quite a bit underneath the weight of our monk cavalry and our bow ronin. I'm actually considering disbanding the monk cavalry. I mean, I hate to do that, but they almost cost 300 a pop. We could really get more out of our money if we abandoned them. I'm sorry, I think we're going to get rid of them. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That's difference between night and day for our income. With that amount of money, we're gonna replace them with sword ashigaru, which are more useful in a defensive capacity anyways, so we're not really missing out. And let's go ahead and end the turn. Next turn, of course, we will be able to make the next chain of temples, which will allow us to make bow monks later on in the game, which is super, super good. We're about to see what happens here. No doubt Wakasa will fall, but Asai actually attacks it in a surprising move. And just as I disbanded the, literally just as soon as I disbanded the cavalry, we have a attack over here to the east. Let's see, we got Ikko Ikki Naginata warrior monks. Perhaps where did we get those? Let's see, it's gonna go with military focus, and let's work on defense first. So I think we got it. Yeah, we got it right outside of our capital. That's pretty cool. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to... I could just sneak around and incite a revolt in their capital of Omi, but is it really worth it? Not really. Instead, we can clip the army by its feathers here and attack them on the fields. That's a risky gambit, however. Might not be worth it in the grand scheme of things. But I'll tell you what is worth it if we go over here and incite a revolt. We can't do it this turn, but that's totally acceptable. We will, of course, demilitarize this army over here. And it succeeded, which is really good. They've lost morale, but they are a superior force, which is unfortunate. Oof, this is going to be a really close fight. Of course, it's only a fort, so we don't even have access to a stronghold. Really, really shitty. What else can we do here? Move you into the castle. That's good. And if we are to afford the next monastery, we are going to need to save our money, unfortunately. Ah, it's so good, but we just don't have the money for it. Alright, so all we can do is end our turn, most unfortunately. Now that we've lost our vassal, we are also losing trade money, and our economy has gone back to being shit, unsurprisingly. I have a feeling the walls are about to be pretty bloody, as Echizen itself is nearly under siege, I should say. Satomi, of course, laying siege to Etchu. But I've seen worse odds than this. I mean, obviously they have a lot more range units, but they lack any sword units whatsoever. I think we could probably end up doing this pretty easily. Of course, all we have to do is hold the choke point. But holding choke points is actually a bit harder than you might think, especially when they are just a fort, which is the first level of defensive fortifications in Shogun 2, so not too good. But at least we are behind walls. That's worth at least a little bit. Alright, so here we go. We got one of the worst forts in the game. It's like a weird little cross plus thing. Really hard to defend. The walls are super short. Not very tall at all, especially over here. But you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. Let's go ahead and begin the battle. Well, first let's move our men into the middle so we can more easily position them in the heat of battle. Okay, so we're surrounded by 4 sides. Not too surprising. This is usually how the AI plays. The problem is we got one from the south, but there's only 1 range unit, so that's good. Here from the north, we got 2 range units and melee. Northeast, just melee. And to the west, we got just melee. So that's pretty good. I mean, all in all, I think that's not so bad. Of course, we're going to be moving our sword units immediately to the walls here. And that's pretty much all of them. I'll keep a few in reserves, and for the south, we're also going to keep some reserves as well. And by reserves, I really mean it. I'm going to be keeping them in the middle. Yari Ashigaru are pretty much going to be cannon fodder. So we can put those up over here. They'll be taking most of the brunt of the southern attack. So we're going to move our Ashigaru, our bow Ashigaru I should say, onto the walls in front of us for the time being. Of course, we will move them later on, so... Right, so they go there, and we're going to keep our Miracle Warrior Monk garrison right next to the castle, just in case we need it. And really besides that, I mean, we'll just play it by ear. I'm not sure if I gave these guys a command. We could send them maybe to the west. I think that would be a pretty good call. They can terrorize that garrison, and we can reinforce the other units. It's good. Alright, let's go ahead and give this a shot, shall we? Just going to fast forward here a little bit, now that I've already given them orders. Of course, it's always essential to put on any exposed units into loose formation. You can change that later, of course. But that makes them less vulnerable to missile units, so that's really good. What are you guys doing? Okay, these guys are acting really weird. We're going to put you over here. And so far, the southern attack team is moving very, very slowly. Of course, they also have a bow Ashigaru unit as well. Not too unsurprisingly. We're going to be moving you over here, ready to reinforce if necessary. And we got our warrior monks in our pocket just in case if we need them. So right now our missile units are attacking their missile units. Of course, we have a missile inferiority in the siege. We do not have the advantage of ranged capabilities here for the most part. So we're going to be taking some damage. Right, so immediately I'm going to be putting these Ashigaru on the walls. We're going to need them to reinforce this kind of open space over there as soon as the bowmen fall back, which they will soon. We got some Yari Samurai about to head up the wall, so that's bad news. We're going to have them immediately ready for standby, just in case. And see, just like that, the Ashigaru are going up the wall. We need to immediately pause the game real quick and move our units back. So first of all, we're going to be moving both of our bow units over here to where? I'm not really quite sure yet. I think we should probably put them facing this way. You can kind of fire upon those guys. And now that those units are out of the picture, we're going to be sending in our very useful retainers, who are really great at absorbing damage. And I'm not about to use our really good units yet, so we're going to be putting up our lone sword Ashigaru units on the wall, which is totally going to suffice. We're going to be moving most of our lone swords to clog up this gap over here. And what else are we going to do? Let's see. To the south, we're still doing well. Of course, we're getting attacked by arrows, but that's not a big deal. Nobody really cares about that. We're also going to put another lone sword over here on the wall. Of course, we get a lot of them. The quantity thing is pretty amazing. Of course, what I would do for a bow tower right around now would really, really help us out. So I believe their men are already pretty much up the castle, so they're going to meet up with our Yari Ashigaru units. Because the arrows do not seem to be flying over here too much, we're going to be sending our warrior monks to reinforce, which is a very good thing. How are we doing over here to the west? Looks like we're doing okay. But they have more melee units than we do over here. So we're going to be moving some of our units to better prepare for this eventuality. Let's see where we can put you. we're going to put you over here. And we're going to put you over... Alright, we already got you on the walls, it looks like. Very good. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold. I'll try to make sure I edit that a little bit quieter, because I know it's a bit too much in the microphone sometimes. Okay, so our Ashigaru over here is practically worthless. We'll have it on standby to help out. Just like we have these units over here, of course. Now that the enemy has showed their face, we can charge our monk units in as they're being prioritized by the enemy archers, which is unfortunate, but I mean, it's pretty much what you can expect from them. We got some Yari Samurai going up the walls. I think they're about evenly matched with Lone Sword Ashigaru, so that's good. What are we going to do? We are going to send these units against the wall, so that'll be useful a little bit. Doesn't really seem we have much of a force in the wall over here. And what do we have you guys doing over here? Really nothing special. We're gonna have you attack the Yari Ashigaru over here. And now we're just getting pelted by melee. But I mean, what can you expect? This is how Total War battles play out normally. Especially in Shogun 2. Like I said, my goal is to just survive, and if we can survive, that's a good thing. See, I don't want them to escape the castle to attack those units, so we're going to have them sit back. How are we doing in the south? We're doing okay. Nothing too bad yet. As soon as they pop their head in, they seem to be taken out, so that's good. Of course, we could do a bit better than that. We want you to attack this Ashigaru unit over here. That'd be good. And how are we doing up here in the north? We're doing okay. Not too bad. Probably be a little bit better if we had one of our reserve units. We don't really have that many reserve units anymore. We have my general, which is good, so we're going to send him in. Normally I don't do this, but desperate times and all. We're going to have you attack the Yari Ashigaru there. That's good. And it's Yari Ronin versus Yari Samurai. The Ronin will win 9 times out of 10, especially considering they are the same quantity.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord.
And of course, the archer units are trying to attack my general. Not all too surprising. Let's get rid of slow motion. We can do this in real time, that's fine. Rally our units for good measure, and then pull them out of there, because they're getting pelted by arrows. I was mainly just doing this with the shock of morale anyways. Such a thing as possible. No, we need you back at your post, men. All of you. So they routed. Pretty much what I expected. And now we have a fair amount of units still alive. That's really good. And we have more melee units to send back north, which is also really good. Where they need it the most, it seems. And like I said, unsurprisingly, we've taken one of these units out. Of course, what I'm doing right now is attacking the Yari Samurai, which are routed. I'll probably even chase down these units. The only problem is I don't want to be behind the wall when the generals come up. So we gotta be careful about that. Looks like they might be heading up pretty soon, though, it seems. So what we're doing right now is clogging the wall. Pretty self-explanatory. What I'm doing is rearranging our units. We already have 2 Bow Ashigaru units on the Bow Ashigaru unit down here, but he's still not doing very well. It's a testament to how bad the Ikkō-ikki ranged units are, at least the Ashigaru units. So I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be charging those bow units with my general. But first we're going to walk over there so we are not to tire my general unnecessarily. Their general is walking up the wall. If we can rout him, it's pretty much game over. So I'm kind of counting on that. more or less. Right, so I was going to send our monks into the fray. Of course, they have something that's called War Cry, which I'll use. I just realized I wasn't using that. Our general is still winded. You know what, fuck it, we're just going to charge. Not a big deal. And we're going to burn War Cry. What this does is this lowers the morale of all enemy units that are nearby. Really, really powerful. Really, really effective. Like I said, we're about to do a charge on these Bow Ashigaru down here. Should rout them, hopefully. The morale shock of a cavalry charge on Ashigaru units is relatively substantial. And we're going to do the other side so our own arrows don't kill our Shogun. That'd be really unfortunate. Right, so we need to put these men on the wall. I have no idea what they were doing. Just being silly, it seems. And we're getting shot at by the Bow Ashigaru because it's hard for me to micromanage my units. Once again, we're going to charge. And that should break them. What we're going to do now is move our general fuck away from harm's way. And let's go back to the north, where it seems that our monks are doing a pretty good job at wrecking shop here. It seems like all that remains are bow units, so you know what we do when bow units are the only thing that is available. We're going to be pulling back our men so they cannot get attacked by by missile fire. And what this does is this forces their ranged units to climb up the walls if they want to succeed, and they do commonly, so that's good. Right, so their general is out over here, just kind of running around. No idea why he's off of his horse. It's really stupid. But you know what? We don't really care. We're going to ignore that and send our general back into the castle. Already, we have some Bow Ashigaru heading up the stairs. That means we will be meeting them on the field of battle once again. This time with some fresher units. 3 pretty fresh units. Who are all relatively winded or exhausted, but that's okay. We still need access to that manpower reserve. Now we have every single one of these units on the walls. It's time to move in everything we got. That's the important thing. Yeah, that's not too surprising. So like I said, we're putting everything we got up on the walls. And that's pretty nice. That's should be a victory. Pretty much guaranteed at this point. So that's good. And once they go up the wall, they'll be routed. And basically now, all we have left to do is running down all of these units. That'll be fun. Of course, we still got a general down here. I have no idea why. Or how. And what the fuck are you guys doing? I have these Bow Ashigaru units that are just all the way down here. I have no idea why. But they're not even listening to me. You guys need to... What are you guys doing? Come on, attack them. Come on. So yeah, basically we were going to be routing all of these units by shoving our swords down their throats. Their general shattered, which is really good. What this means effectively is that we will keep shooting at him until they're all dead. And we got a runner over here to the east as well. How many men? Only 3, not worth it. So, like I said, this shouldn't be much of a problem. We got a very mobile general force over here to take care of those units while we shoot down the general, which will be fun. Let's go ahead and fast forward. We've already won. This is not even competitive at this point. I mean, we've done everything we need to do. What we'll do instead is... It'd be nice if we killed the general, if we can get there in time. I'm guessing we probably won't be able to get there in time, so let's go ahead and shift focus to... Oh, well, it's not even worth it at this point. It's okay. We are going to end the game. And that was, I'd say, pretty decent for the lack of, you know, a suitable defensive garrison. We, of course, need to have a fortress in that city to be able to have more retainers. And, of course, give us those sweet, sweet arrow towers, We only lost 700 men. That's not too bad. We'll be able to replenish all of that in a pretty fair amount of time. We can even next turn finish off that army. We just got War Fervor. Very nice. That gives us morale. Definitely worth it at this point in the game. And we have a choice now. We can revolt Omi. I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing. Or we can build a new temple, which is also really, really good. Really a question of convenience at this point. Of course, the Satome are pretty much completely wiped out after that last battle. But just to finish the deal, we will auto-resolve and strike them down once again, which promotes our general, so that's really good. Let's take a look at what he has going on for him. We are going to spec him as a intimidating general. I think it's one of the best kind of specializations you can go. Let's go with... That's really, really good. That's for all of my melee units, so all these sword units. Super, super good. Basically, I think that wiped out the entire army of Satome. Let's see if they will take peace. Maybe they won't, maybe they will. Nope, that you won't. You know, eventually one of these clans will accept peace, so that's a good thing. Of course, we can't persuade Takeda to trade with us. But our army remains in Echizen, regrouping, and we got 2 Bow Ronins. That's pretty good. Better than nothing. I think I'm going to go with it and incite a revolt in Omi, even though there's only a 41% chance, and we failed, most unfortunately. But sometimes even failure gives you experience. It does. Cool, cool, cool. We will incite a revolt next turn if we can. But at this point, we are running really low on funds. Very, very low on funds, unfortunately. And this is not a very good position for us to be in, of course. I'm almost tempted to recruit yet more Lone Sword Ashigarus, but that's just, honestly, complete overkill. We don't really need that many. What we do need is to work on our economy. Perhaps the way for me to do that is to destroy this temple and make a market. I don't really know. Like I said earlier, I haven't really played Total War in a while. But I'm hoping that next turn I can incite a revolt in Omi that would really take the pressure off of Echizen. And I'm guessing that this next siege will probably have to take place next episode as we are running close to time. Yeah, here we go. So they have a fairly large attack force, and I'm really worried about the Bow Ashigaru. There's an abundance of Bow Ashigaru. Really kind of scary. And for the first time, we have Katana Samurai on the opposing team. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Be pretty intense. We'll see what happens. But I can guarantee you, no matter what happens, there will be a lot of blood. So stay tuned. Thank you guys. See you soon.